Welcome. In front of me is a NUBIA Neo 3, and today I will show you how we can go through the setup process of this device. So, when you boot it up for the first time, you should be presented with the same screen that you can see on my end, which is the welcoming page. And here I'm going to find my desired language, which definitely won't be Polish. And I'm going to select English. Now, when you select a language like English, it does have several different regions right here, so you can choose whichever one. Now, this is purely speculation, as I haven't got the chance to test it out yet. But when it comes down to the region, this actually could possibly lock you into different laws of the region. So as an example, if you're in UK, you have no freedom of speech, no matter what the government claims to bullshit you about. If you say something mean on the internet, they go busting down your door and arresting you for hate speech. Such a great freedom of speech there, right? Now, this isn't necessarily what I'm raving about here, but in European Union, which Brexit obviously isn't part of, we have way better consumer rights. And one of those kind of things is, for instance, Apple and their monopolistic behavior to try to take Apple tax from everyone and force everyone to use their App Store. European Union isn't liking that, and they're fining them for that, and also forcing them to open up their iOS to basically possible third-party stores. Apple isn't liking that, obviously. You can imagine why, when 30% of the revenue can be saved, just not by them anymore. So in cases like that, Apple will most likely only comply in European Union, because screw the customers, we're here to make money off of the people, right? I mean, being one of the richest companies it doesn't come just naturally, right? You need to continuously rip off people from money. And that isn't by selling them good devices, because we know that hasn't been true for a while. So they will be complying with that, most likely only in Europe, but in US they will continue their own bullshit that they did. And in this case, depending on where you select your region, this might become very important. And like I mentioned, this is just an example. Obviously, might not be the best one, but when it comes into European Union, we do have much better laws for us rather than for corporations. So it is much more beneficial for you to select something that is in EU rather than UK, for instance, or even US. So anyway, in reality, you can select whatever you want, and just know that this might just affect future kind of, I don't know, problems in a way. So whatever, I'm just gonna select whatever here. Moving on. We have connect to mobile network by inserting a SIM card. Now I'm gonna skip this step. We don't need to do this, and let me actually fix the brightness, as the display is a little bit too bright here. There we go. So I'm gonna select skip right here. It doesn't really matter. Next we have connect to Wi-Fi. Again, this step is optional and you don't need to do so, but by skipping it, you won't be able to sign into a Google account, restore apps and data, get software updates, and have the date and time set automatically. Now again, this can all be changed later on after the setup has been completed, and it doesn't really make that much of a difference here. So I'm gonna select continue without connecting. And here's the date and time that I mentioned. You can fix it if it's incorrect, but for me it actually is. So I'm gonna go to the next page. And on the next page, we can select some kind of screen lock to protect our device. Now, under the screen lock options, we can choose between pattern, PIN, or complex password. By default, it adapts into a PIN, which is a 4 to 6 digit PIN that you can set up. But obviously, you can choose any of these options. And you will need one of these options if you're planning to set up something like your fingerprint sensor. Anyway, I'm going to be actually not protecting this device. Now, that being said, I'm not going to do this. It's not my phone really, so it's not something that I'm going to be using. But obviously, this is a phone that you're going to be using most likely. And I highly recommend selecting some kind of screen lock, as this will protect your data. In case you lose your phone, it's very beneficial for you if whoever finds this cannot access it easily. So protecting your phone will basically more or less ensure that. While not protecting it, whoever finds it can just literally go willy-nilly into your photo album, contacts, do whatever the hell they want, right? Not the best kind of option here. Next, we have Google services like location, scanning, and sending user and diagnostic data. Now, these services are from Google, and let's not doubt this for 1 second that Google is going to respect these toggles. Like, I can turn off use location, and whoop-de-doo. Legally, I guess they cannot get my use the location services on the phone, but hey, guess what? They can still know exactly where I am because other people have location services. And other people have also Bluetooth enabled, which my phone could have as well, which then it can kind of spot other phones, send the data between each other, and then let them know that this phone was in this said location because it gets it from the other device. So this means absolutely F all, to be honest. And if it did, let's put it this way, when you take out your SIM card, turn off basically everything, there shouldn't be a way that someone like Google could know where you are. But hey, there are instances where criminals get found because of their phone, even though they did everything to ensure that it's not trackable, right? Now, does that sound like something that actually matters here in this case? When going through all the steps, you can still be found. Now, for people that are kind of like, just don't be a criminal in this case, it's not really the point. I'm using this as an example. What the example here is that I like my effing privacy, and what I like it for is none of your business. So just know that with this garbage from Google, meaning you don't have that. There is a reason why Graphene OS is becoming popular, and well, I guess now it's killed off by Pixel with the new release of Pixel. So we're gonna move on and ignore this because it doesn't matter anyway. Next, we have privacy policy. Now this is from Nubia themselves, not Google. Obviously, you don't get privacy really with Google. Moving on, we have parental control. Encryption and erasure. I think that's how you would pronounce this. I just pretend I did pronounce this correctly. So we have some information. Data encryption is enabled by default. Okay, so just know that there's, I guess, data protection here by encrypting it. So it gets encrypted through factory reset. I thought the point of a factory reset is to get rid of the data, not encrypt it, but whatever. Moving on, we have device security, and here, didn't we already have this page with a PIN pattern or password? Why is it again? Prevent unauthorized use of this device. Yeah, I already skipped this. Next, we have system navigation. So we have gestures and just buttons. Gestures being selected by default, and that's what I want to use anyway, so that's what I'm going to stick with. Moving on. Oh, there we go. It's now the end of the setup, so get started. And oh, there we go. And you can and you are taken to the home screen. So anyway, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.